I don't know what it is about this truck, but it's just really cool and grabs a lot of attention. How's it going, everyone? I'm Greg with RC Driver, and on the workbench here is CEN Racing's latest release, the Ford F450 SD, dually ready to run custom truck. And this thing is just wild. I mean, if you're looking for something fun to drive or something to customize or something to use as a tow rig, this is probably a vehicle you want to check out. It is certainly unique and just breaks the mold of all the stuff that we've been used to seeing, monster trucks and short course trucks and regular crawlers and stuff like that. Just a nice fresh change to look at something different. Now, this one actually is very close to the original truck that they released a little while back. We reviewed that. I will put a link up above so you can check it out. I went into full detail there about all the stuff that you can find in this truck. And what we're gonna do today is just go over all the changes to this newest version. And it starts off with the body color. So the one that we have here is obviously this beautiful, really deep, vibrant candy apple red. And it just pops, guys. It just looks really good. They also have a Mercury Silver version. I think that looks really cool as well. But next to my other F450, the two are just gonna look awesome together. I got two kids that I think are really going to enjoy driving this after I'm done with the review. But beyond the color changes, they also went and painted the bed now, and it's got a textured paint to it. So it almost looks like it has a bed liner in there. Basically, that's what it mimics, is a bed liner. So the changes to the exterior are welcome. They still have the cool big Ford mirrors on there. You know, I think I said this in the original video. It would have been nice if maybe the bumpers were separate so you could go and put something custom on there, or who knows, maybe Night Customs would go and make some bumpers for the front of this. That would be really cool. But overall, it's got this very killer dually look to it. And now we need to talk about what's under the hood. And there's, again, not too many changes in comparison to the last one. The only real change here is the shocks. So the shocks on the original truck were 78mm shocks, and these are 90mm shocks, which gives it a more lifted stance. So I definitely like the way it looks when the body's sitting on there, and I'm sure it's gonna look good and perform well while it's cruising around. Now, let me go over some of the chassis and suspension features just really quick for you guys. Again, you can check out that other video, but we got steel frame rails on here. We got steel stamped shock hoops, lots of composite cross bracing throughout the chassis, sway bars front and rear, really heavy duty bumper mounts, and the rear bumper, or the rear mount, has a trailer hitch, so you can buy an aftermarket trailer, tow some stuff around, foam bumper up front, and an electronics tray in the center here that houses the receiver box. I'll go over the electronics in a minute. Center transmission, which actually is a pretty cool transmission. You could go and take this thing apart and switch the gears around, so you could either have it set up for torque, if you're gonna go and pull something, or if you wanna go have fun, drive it around really quick, you could flip the gears around and have a higher speed to it. So it's pretty neat that you can go and adjust this transmission. It's got an aluminum motor plate on there, ball bearings throughout the transmission, steel dog bones through the center, and we've got realistic looking axles, solid axles front and rear, and they do have open diffs to it with pretty much no grease on the inside, just like the original truck. So those spin pretty free. But let me skip back to the suspension now. We have black anodized links. That's another change I should mention. All the links now are black anodized. They were just silver aluminum on the original truck. And so I like the black version better. It makes it look much more stealth. But the mounting points here in the center where the chassis is, those are metal. And then they go down to plastic mounting bosses down at the axle. And I mean, everything looks really good. Again, black anodized links up front. I already told you guys about the sway bar. Let me move on to the electronics package. We've got the 1040 Hobbywing based speed controller, does 2 to 3S LiPo batteries, just brush motors, and then in front of it is a Savox servo. So they don't have a label on here. I'm guessing it's some sort of standard servo, but I can see a metal output shaft on there, so at least it's got metal gears inside. And here we have a 550 motor, which means it's gonna have plenty of torque if you're gonna go ahead and pull a boat or maybe another scale rig or something like that. There is a Dean's plug on the speed controller. You are gonna have to go and provide the battery pack and the charger and some AA's for this, but it also comes with the radio system and it's ready to run. All you gotta do is install a charged battery pack and you're basically ready to go out and cruise with this thing. All right, let's move on to the wheels and tires now, because this is another big change. Actually, the wheels are the big change here. So So they have KG1 Trident wheels, front and rear, in this dark metallic bronze, and just a really cool looking wheel that replicates the full scale KG1 wheels. Fury tires, we saw this before on the original version, Fury tires all the way around, and just a really cool looking truck. It also comes with some decals, some basic tools, and instruction manuals, and probably the important one for a lot of people is the one about changing up the transmission, so you could swap it out for the torque setting or the high speed setting. So that's all you really need to know about the new CEN Racing Ford F450 SD. You know, new body colors, cool new wheels, a little bit lifted of a stance with these large bore shocks, and let's go drive this thing. Let's just go cruise around, have some RC fun. All right, drivers, I got a few days of wheeling in on this truck, had a great time with it, which I'm going to tell you about, but first up, I missed a few features before, and I want to point those out. One of those is the new grille decal on here. So this looks much more like a real truck right off the lot, where the original truck had a customized grille decal to it. I like both of them. Both of them are cool to me. The other feature that I missed was the rear wheels are actually a little bit narrower now, and that allows the tire to sit on the wheel better and looks a bit more realistic. All right, now we could talk about the performance of this rig, and I had a great time driving it around just like the original one. It's kind of like driving an oversized brushed touring car, basically. You just kind of rip around the parking lot with it, do figure eights, ovals, stuff like that. It steers pretty well. There is some chatter still from the tires. You know, this hard tire with the right angle edge to it kind of makes the front chatter when you're going through some corners at full throttle, but it does look really cool out there. I mean, that's what this truck is all about, just kind of showing off. And you know, for those that are getting this rig to customize it or to tow a vehicle or boat or something like that, I mean, that's what it's really perfect for. And the original batch of these kept selling out. People wanted them really bad, so there is a group of people out there that really want trucks like this, and now they have even more options from CEN Racing, you know, to go and make their collection a lot cooler with. But you know, it's got some decent speed right out of the box. You again could go and run a 3S pack in there. You could go flip the gearing around in there to make it run the way you want to, but I just ran it box stock and enjoyed it that way. On the asphalt, it was fun, it was quick. But where I really had a great time with it was in the dirt parking lot. I got this drift going with this thing and was just busting donuts with it. That's where I spent most of my time, in that dirt parking lot, until I hit a rut while I was going through a corner at full speed, and I actually broke one of these beautiful K1 wheels. Such a bummer there. They are kind of thin, so that's maybe something to be aware of. Because they went with such extreme detail on here, they made it look like a realistic forged spoke wheel. I mean, you know, things can happen when you go for the detail on it. So just be aware of where you're driving it. You don't want to hit a crack in the asphalt or a rut in the dirt while cornering, because, you know, you may break a wheel. But other than that, it's a tough truck. It doesn't go so fast that you really need to worry about breaking anything else on it, I believe. But I'm gonna have a lot more fun with this truck. And actually, I wanna give you a sneak peek of some of the fun I'm going to have with it. Look at all these option parts that I have in this box here. We are going to do a build up on this truck here on the channel. And so if you wanna see that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell. Throw this video a like while you're at it. And we're gonna see you back soon for some more RC Driver videos.